Okay, now for this next segment, you're going to need probably a separate piece of paper and making sure that you have the Ready, Set, Sell brochure. The Ready, Set, Sell brochure either was sent to you by your director or in your starter kit was possibly even given to you by your recruiter. So I'd love for you to have this. So if you don't have this and you can pause this DVD real quickly, run and go get it and come back. This is kind of important stuff. You know, my goal is to help you be successful in Mary Kay. I can tell you how I started and how to be successful in this company by having some inventory. Now, yes, inventory is an option. You don't have to have any. You can start with a lot or a little. Really just depends on you. My goal during this next segment is to let you understand a little bit more about inventory. And I can give you a couple examples. Let's say, for instance, you were going to open up a florist shop, a flower shop. So let's say it would say Jamie's Florist on there. You have a beautiful sign. You've got a wonderful storefront, but all you could afford was daisies and carnations. So people come into your florist, and they're not really sure if you're in business or out of business because they see a few daisies and carnations, but they buy them all. And Jamie's happy. She's got a whole bunch of money in her hand, and on the way home, she went to the shoe store because she needed one pair. Well, they were having a shoe sale, and she bought 9 pairs with all of her money. She was so excited when she got home. She had the most amazing looking shoes. But now she went to the store the next day and had no flowers to sell. So you don't want to get to that point. You want to make sure that you have enough inventory. So what Jamie could have done was taken that money and bought more daisies, more carnations, and maybe some plants. And then the next time, daisies, carnations, plants, and roses, or you know, carnations, or some other types of flowers. And pretty soon Jamie would have a full store. Why? Because she kept reinvesting in her inventory. And at some point, Jamie would say, okay, not only am I paying for the rent space here, but I'm also reinvesting, and I'm on a profit-making basis, so I get to pay who else? Myself. And that's how it kind of works. The other example I can give you is like a McDonald's franchise. Let's say you bought a McDonald's franchise. Well, every month, McDonald's takes the money, they buy more hamburgers and french fries, they pay their bank note, they pay their employees, and they pay themselves. That's how the whole cycle works. Another example, you go to a hospital, the emergency room, and someone needs a bandage because maybe they're bleeding or something, or I don't know, they just need something to get done. They don't say, you know, come back in a week and we'll order that bandage for you. Now, I know that's a crazy example, but one of the great things that you have going for you in Mary Kay is Mary Kay offers you a 90% buyback policy. Never be afraid to have inventory because we do offer that 90% buyback policy. Now, let me take you back. 28 years ago when I joined Mary Kay, I was 22 years old. My father said the richest and smartest people use other people's money. So I said, great, Dad, I'll use yours. And that's actually how I came in. I actually wrote out my dad a little piece of paper that says, I will pay you $50 a month and I will borrow about $700. Now that $50 was not going to come out of my regular paying job. It was going to come out of my sales. I figured if I couldn't sell $50 a month, I need to ask myself why I was doing this, okay? So, true story. Started with small inventory. I thought it was a Mack truck. Back then, over 28 years ago, it was a lot more inventory than it is today. So I took my inventory with me. My first class was an hour and a half away. It was with 5 women. When we got to the glamour part, 3 of the women wanted the same eyeshadow. Now, in the back of my head, I was going one of each, one of each, one of each. Because back then, a $600 inventory was one of every eyeshadow, and one of every lip color. Today, it's even a lot less. And so that's all it was. And so I remember saying to these 2 women, you know, I think these other colors, why don't you look at these? They might look better on you. Trying to get them hopefully to buy another color. Didn't work. Drove back an hour and a half, called my director, said, great, what do I do? She said, come up, I'll give you the shades, we'll trade you for a couple other shades that you have, so that's good. And I will tell you, Janice, you probably need a bigger inventory. Lesson learned. Well, now with today's gas prices, you think about an hour and a half there for 2 eyeshadows and back, not such a great business, you know, move. So I did go down at the age of 22 years old and got my credit union and took out a business loan. My payment was $72 a month, but I started with $2,000 in inventory and I was on my feet. Why was I scared? No. They offered a buyback policy. I figured, hey, you know what? I just sold $300 at my first skincare class. I know I can sell this product. And if I didn't, I had an option. And so that's why I don't want you to be afraid about inventory. Now, how much you start is completely up to you. You can start with, let me write some things down here for you. You can start with anywhere from $200 to $3,600. it's really up to you. My goal through this segment here is to walk you through the different ways of starting your inventory, okay? And that's what I want to do for you. So, today you have a Ready, Set, Sell brochure. What I love about this brochure is it talks to you and shows you all the wonderful pictures you have of all the Mary Kay products, okay? Now, there is in the Ready, Set, Sell brochure also a little inventory quiz. You may choose to take that little inventory quiz, which would help you understand how much inventory you possibly could use, okay? Or how much inventory you possibly need. So you might want to think about taking that little inventory quiz, and that would help you greatly, okay? So if you want to pause and do that, you can do that also real quickly. Then what I want you to do is take the Ready, Set, Sell brochure, and we're going to start in the back, okay? And we're going to talk about product. Before we do that, I want to talk to you about profit. In any business, like the flower shop I gave you as an example, or even like McDonald's, there is what they call a profit. When you have a certain amount of inventory where you get to pay yourself. And in Mary Kay, that's right around $3,000. And you are on a profit, okay? So how quickly you get there is pretty much up to you, okay? And so you want to get to the profit-making part as soon as possible. So let me give you an example of how this works, and this might help you a little bit better too. All right? So I want you to get a separate piece of paper out, okay? And let's just give an example here. Let's say you started with $3,000 for the inventory, and you sold $1,000. Now, I want you to write down $1,000 here. You sold $1,000 for the month. Write that on your paper. I want you to draw a couple sticks out there. And here's what we're going to do. You're going to take your first 500 and you're going to split it just like this. 500 and 500. There's your $1,000 split. This is what you sold for the month. You started on a profit. Y'all with me? We're going to take the first 500 and we're going to subtract out $100. And that $100 is going to go towards a payment. Wherever you got the money. Maybe it was your MasterCard or a Visa. Maybe you borrowed it from your credit union. Maybe you did somebody like I did. Found somebody who loved you. There we go. Wherever you borrow the money from, that is your monthly payment. Okay, or whatever it would be. Then you have $400 left for you. This over here is another $500. This is where you're going to take $450 or more plus tax, okay? $450 plus tax, and you're going to reinvest. Remember, like the woman who went to the shoe store on the shoe sale, she didn't reinvest. So you always want to make sure that you make your payment, you reinvest, you pay yourself. That's how it kind of all works. And that's what we want to get you to as fast as possible, okay? Now, some people tend to start lower because they say to themselves, well, I want to see how I do first. And that is perfectly fine. I completely understand that. It's kind of like the way I started too. However, today, the free product that you receive in Mary Kay on your inventory is a one-time offer. So it's really important you make a really great decision in the very, very beginning. So this is how this works. On a profit-making basis. And what I'm going to do now is go through the Ready, Set, Sell brochure with you, okay? And then we can come back and look at some other options. So, take your Ready, Set, Sell brochure, and let's start at the very back page. And that is the smaller inventories. And the reason we start here and no less is because at the $600 level is actually where the free product offers start. So the first thing it is a $600 inventory today. You will notice in there, the pictures that are there, you do not get one of every lip color and every eyeshadow. You get about maybe 5 eyeshadows and 5 lip colors of all the different colors that we have. You do get a couple basic skincare sets, a few odds and ends. We'll probably not get you through your first skincare class without having somebody want something that you don't have. But it is a start. On the far right hand side of the brochure, it talks about the free product you get. You get $100 worth of free product from the company plus another $101 on your Color 101 look, okay? So you get over $200 in free product. You might want to write $200 there by the $600. The $1,200 inventory, the next inventory level that you have here, with this inventory level, you get a little bit more glamour, a little bit more skincare. Not a whole lot, but you do get some. You also get not only $200 in free product from the company, but an extra $101 in your Color 101 look. So that's over $300 worth of free product at the $1,200 level. And you're getting a little bit more product. What is more popular today is when you start at the Star Consultant level. Now, one of the great things that we have in Mary Kay is we have prizes. And I know a lot of people say, well, you know, I'm not very prize motivated or I don't like prizes. Well, we have a saying in Mary Kay, if it's free, it's for me. In your Applause magazine or in your starter kit, somewhere there should be a little brochure with all the different prizes. And they go on a quarter. So each quarter we have new prizes. And these you get just rewarding you for your inventory levels. You might start with an $1,800 inventory and you get some of the prizes in the first prize category. And for each additional order you place during that quarter, or for each additional team member you add, you bump up into higher prize categories. I can tell you the handbags, the jewelry, the gift cards, the Bose radio, all the great things that you get from these prize brochures are absolutely amazing. So make sure you kind of take that out. With the $1,800 inventory, you get $300 free from the company, plus an extra $101 in the Color 101 look. So you're getting over $400 worth of free product. And here you're starting to see more variety in an inventory also. You will start seeing things like men's skincare, some fragrances, maybe some body care, some satin hands, a few more things that are available to you. Also too, you have the free roll-up bags and some other freebies that you get with that $1,800 inventory. So it's really a great inventory. A lot of people start here too. The next inventory is your $2,400 inventory. And what I love about the $2,400 inventory is you get a lot more glamour. So the $2,400 inventory here will give you $400 in free product plus an extra $100 from the company. So you're basically getting over $500 worth of free product from the company, roll-up bags, and here you see more variety and more product. This is where you start getting through your first 5 or 6 skincare classes and you're okay. You might have a couple holes here and there, but after you get through your first 5 or 6 skincare classes, this pretty much covers you through that. Okay? And then of course, one of the most popular inventories today is our $3,000 inventory. And with this you get over $500 worth of free product, plus your 101 color look, so over $600 worth of product. That's a great opportunity. And of course, more freebies, higher in the prize category, all those different things. And of course, then we have our last inventory, and that is what we call our full store. And this is our $3,600 inventory here, where you're getting over $700 in free product. And that includes your 101 color look too. Now, let's think about this for a second. If you bought $3,600 worth of inventory, or let's talk about even $3,000. Let's say you started with a $3,000 inventory, okay? And you got $600 free. And you did 90% on $300. If you were not to do this anymore, you would lose $300, but you got $600 free. I always tell people, you guys, that's crazy. That's amazing to get that much free product. And remember, the free product is a one-time buy, okay? So make sure that you make a good inventory decision. Now, people's biggest questions to me all the time is, well, Janice, how do I know what to order? Well, first off, don't worry about if it's going to be on your shelf for, you know, an extra year or two. The shelf life on almost all Mary Kay products are 5 years. There's a couple items that we have that have expiration dates on them, but those are mostly our acne products and a couple other things. But making sure that you know that if you bought sunscreen this year, that next year it would still be perfectly fine. And usually when people say, you know, here's the inventory package I want, you might say to your director, you know, I want to start with a $2,400 or I want to start with a $3,000. You need to let us know what package you want to start with first, and then we can customize it for you. Most of the customization comes within color. Some of you might want all bronze skin tones. Some of you want beige and bronze. Some of you just want ivory and beige. So that's where a lot of it comes into play, is a lot of those types of things. It's your foundations, you know. So really, and also what types of foundations. Are you really into mineral powder, or do you love the new luminous and matte, you know, wear that we have? We have all kinds of different foundations. So some of the packaging that we'll do will help you towards that. You know, I had a consultant say, don't order me any men's skincare. I'm not going to get involved in any of the men's line at all, or the colognes or anything. And I said, okay. First skincare class she goes to, the lady says, do you have anything for men? Of course, whatever you don't order, somebody's going to ask you. And remember, some of the colors that you don't like, other people love. Let your director help you customize that. She is there to help you with that. We have customized packages at every single level. Really just depends on what you want to start with. But I always tell people, if you have access, ways, or means to start on a profit-making basis, do so. Why? Because you make money right away instead of just turning it over.